snowy December evening, we welcome you into Sports Den. On behalf of Bill Hupp, I'm Blythe Whaley. And you guys, it's crazy. It's our last episode of 2023, Bill. How weird.
Hard to believe. Yes, I'm Bill Hupp, the red-nosed sports anchor, and we're taking you on a Sports Den sleigh ride tonight. But unfortunately, there's no more football, so there won't be any blitzing. But Blythe, yeah, unseasonably warm, had a very strange winter. Not sure we're going to have a white Christmas, but you brought the frosty attire. You were making up for it tonight.
Yeah, we can't build the snowman outside, Bill, but at least we can still be supporting Frosty the Snowman inside.
Absolutely, and that's what we'll turn to with our first highlight tonight as Elk River Zimmerman visited Centennial Spring Lake Park in an early season NWSC clash between these two rivals. First period, check out the feed from Grace Lager after that shot from Lily Renslow. Renslow at the front of the net taps it home for a 1-0 first period lead. Second period now, as you see the team celebrating. Great feed after Renslow followed up. Nobody checked her on the weak side and she scored. Second period now, Tegan Kuhlenkamp puts in a shift. Here she skates through the slot and buries one past the netminder to make it 2-0. Then she steals the puck on the forecheck and sneaks it near post for 2 goals in under 10 seconds. Elk River would respond, however. They had a couple breakaways in the game, and they finally cashed in on one as talented freshman Jaden Peterson takes advantage to make it a 3-1 deficit after 2. Third period, Elks get another one on the power play in the shooter's slot to make it 3-2. But the Cougars would hang on, picking up a solid conference win at home, 3-2 over the Elk River Elks. As Caitlin Gross gets congratulations after earning the 3-2 win. Caitlin, you're in your 4th year as a starter. And you've taken it all the way to, the Xcel Energy Center. You've played in some of the biggest games. How much more comfort and confidence do you have being a 4-year starter out there between the pipes?
Yeah, I think I still get the jitters before the game, but I know Elk River and I know what they have, I know how they compete. So I think it's easier with all the experience to know what they're gonna give you.
You had a couple breakaways that you had to shut down tonight a couple times. They got in on goal on those breakouts. What is your philosophy? What's your approach when you see a player bearing down on you?
I just tell myself to come out of the net really far so they have nothing to shoot at and keep my hands out in front of me.
Your team's off to a 1-1 start. A couple tough overtime games. Has this been the kind of start that you envision for your senior season?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's good to lose to teams because it brings the team to adversity, and that's a hard thing to overcome, and I think overcoming that at the beginning of the season is better than at the end.
Take us through the goals you scored tonight.
Yeah, I think just with the help of my line mates and picking my head up and picking the corners really helped us get the win tonight.
So did you have that kind of confidence? You got right back on it, forced a turnover, and that led to the second goal.
Yeah, I think it's really good to get on the jump after faceoffs and go hard and win the puck battles and get to the net.
Has this been the start that you envisioned for this year, and how do you feel about how you guys are playing right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're playing good. We definitely have another level to our game, and I think by the end of the season we should be really good.
As we take a look at the girls hockey standings in the Northwest Suburban Conference, and there you see Centennial SLP at the top. It's a tight race. That top 4 is going to be battling all year long. Those top 4 are really in the top 15 of the state rankings. They're the clear top 4, and it's going to be a really good battle between the top 3 there in Section 5 to see who makes the state tournament.
As we take a look at those schedules, you see Blaine lost those last 2, but they'll have a couple more games yet here in December, taking on Lakeville South and Forest Lake, as well as Mounds View West Tonka. So again, having those few games here before the end of the season just gives them that last push to go into that new year.
And that win at Maple Grove was huge, Blythe, 4-1, because it avenged a loss 1-0 in overtime in the first game of the season, the only loss so far on the Cougars' schedule. And we turn our attention to boys hockey. Again, bunched up at the top. Centennial has played a tough schedule so far. They are up there with Maple Grove. They tied Andover, and they are again going to expected to be among the top 4. They just played a really close game against Wayzata recently, as we'll see on the schedule in a bit. Blaine struggling so far with a record of 0-9. Spring Lake Park with some impressive results, as we'll see here in a moment.
Yeah, so think about those New Year's resolutions. Coming into the new year, they might have something of a win on that New Year's resolution. Blaine will take on Forest Lake, Lakeville North, and Duluth East to finish out 2023. Centennial, Spring Lake Park will begin that new year, but first they're going to have to take on St. Thomas Academy and Champlain Park. And then lastly, Spring Lake Park, they still have a few, taking on St. Paul, Highland, and Bloomington before having that cat clash as they come back for the new year.
Yeah, we'll have that for you on North Metro TV as they visit Centennial in what should be a pretty high scoring and really good game. But hockey, of course, Blythe, not the only sport that's going on right now that our teams are involved in.
It's true. You can get warm, cozy, and heat up inside some of our gyms as we get to take a look at what our basketball teams have been up to as of late.
Some hot shooting on the court.
Oh yes, oh yes. In our cat clash, Centennial took on Blaine. It's happened back here December 5th, going through the lane. Monson passes it out to Frost. Nothing frosty about this, drilling the 3 early on as she gets heated up. Monson gets going too quick. The Bengals able to steal. Sadie Dominic with the lay-in for the Bengals to stick in it. This is the Cougars. Sydney Schmidt finding Monson, who starts the rainstorm from deep. See that spot on the court, quite good for the Cougars, but it's not just that right side. You see it from the left. Again, Frost with a quick trigger. It's still raining, folks. Claire Pullman drains one of her own as this rainstorm continues. As you can note, I'm not saying snowstorm, no snow, folks. But Bengals able to move it up quickly. Rosie Rikui able to put that one in. Again, Sadie Dominic. Bengals from 3 able to stick in this game, keeping things moving along. Again, of course, Cougars are off to the races from 3, and they continue to be hot from that 3-point line in that first half. As we head to the second half, see the Cougars able to find Monson, who has still got it from the 3-point arc, putting it down. But that is how everything finished up, 74-53.
Get on that winning streak and get things going for your senior year, Marissa.
It feels really good. We know that we need this win for sections, and it's kind of revenge from losing last year here.
Yeah, and were you guys thinking about that coming into this game? I'm going to switch to talk with you, Molly, for a second and just ask you, when you came into this court and onto this court today, were you thinking about last season's loss here, or were you thinking about just what you've been able to do against them in the past?
We definitely thought about last year and what we could have done to improve and obviously get the win this year instead of last year.
What do you think was the difference maker this year here on Bengals home court? What were you guys doing well?
I think we focused a lot on defense, and our goal was to attack the zone, and I think we did good at that.
Yeah, I think, too, it's just crazy how many threes both you ladies put up, both getting into the 20s for points today, so congrats. We have to mention that. Way to go. But, Molly, what was working to get open in some of those moments when you were able to find those threes?
I guess it was just finding the gaps, because the zone really helps moving around, and then people dribble in and kick out really helps get open.
And when you think about a season like this one, still quite early, just played 3 games prior to this one, what are you finding out about your team at this point in the season?
I think it was kind of cool because we came into the season knowing we were young, and now we're just really coming together, and it's looking really good on the court.
Yeah. And Molly, how comfortable are you feeling here at this point in the season? Just a sophomore here for the Cougars, but how comfortable are you right now?
Well, it's my first year playing varsity, but I'm feeling pretty good as the games go on, getting more comfortable.
Well, as I said, your stats show that it looks like you're getting more comfortable with your team, which is awesome. But as you guys look forward just on what the season is going to be, what do you think you guys want to hone in on and look to improve on as the season goes forward?
I think we just want to limit the turnovers and keep attacking and kicking.
Yeah. Do you have anything, Molly, that you personally maybe are looking to want to improve on or look to help your team improve on?
I think we could improve on as a whole is just like working together more and moving the ball around, but I think we're doing pretty good so far.
As we take a look at that game summary, Monson finished up with 27 points, Frost with 20, as was mentioned there in that interview. But ultimately, wild to think of how many both these ladies scored. Mets scoring 8, a lot of actually names on that board, just showing how much the Cougars were able to find those baskets, Bill. But also Holly finding some, nobody in double digits for the Bengals. So ultimately, again, some things they're going to be looking to work out there for that next time. They're going to have to take them on this year.
Yeah, and if Centennial can add someone like Molly Monson to an already potent lineup with Marissa Frost and Jordan Metz and company, that's going to make the Cougars that much more dangerous. As we take a look at the conference standings, and you see the Cougars 2-5 overall, 1-2 in conference, so still finding their footing. And an upset loss is Blaine up near the conference lead, 6-2 there. Everyone's chasing Maple Grove with their 5 Division I commits. The depth of the conference strong as always. Spring Lake Park in the middle there too, as we take a look at the upcoming schedules for both teams.
Yeah, these teams have some games yet this year. Taking a look at South St. Paul for Blaine, and they'll take on Coon Rapids and Stillwater as well. Those 2 home games get to finish out 2023. Centennial going to be taking on Forest Lake and Egan at home. That last final game of 2023 at Rosemont, so they're on the road. And Spring Lake Park, a couple home games of their own, Chanhassen and Irondale, before being at Tartan and at
Mandan,
North Dakota. So that
Dakota.
real long road game, so that'll be fun for them.
Ask Ted LaRue about that. As we turn our attention to boys basketball, where we had a cat clash, as well as Blaine and Alvin Payne took the short drive to take on rival Centennial. It's Christmas time, and these two teams were making it rain early first half. Look at the lob from Cade Nielsen to Alvin Payne to get to the hard way. This game, however, would be played beyond the arc, as the coach's kid, Lane Pettis, decks the halls with balls of 3-point shots. Ethan Pettis for 3 as well. Blaine, the early lead. As you see Pettis from way downtown, threes were raining down, REIN down. Pettis again missed. Alvin Payne there for the stick back and the and one opportunity. Payne led the Bengals with 21 points. Jackson Driesen from the corner for 3. And the two teams would trade 3-point baskets late first half. Once again, this time it's Jordan Lyon, one of his 4 threes on the night, knocking that down. Second half now, Luke Gunderman caught fire. This one from downtown Anoka. Gunderman having himself a merry little swish miss, pulls up and drains it from deep. And then Jack DiAgostino in transition. As you take a look at the steal, DiAgostino decorating this pass with a little extra icing to Luke Gunderman. But wait, there's Murr. Pettis in front of his own bench, nailing the 3, playing well. You'll be sorry if you leave Luke Gunderman open from deep, as Blaine found out. 21 points on the game, 7 3-pointers for Gunderman. Call him Frosty the Showman, because he was putting on a show. Here he ties the game at 47 from straight on. The action continues. Gunderman, Jingle Bell rocking his way to a game-high 21, doing it in all manner of ways. Jordan Lyon trying to keep his team in the game, gave him the lead, in fact, with 8:55 left to play, and the two teams continue to trade triples like that one from the corner. That's a lead that Centennial would retake. And again, just going back and forth. And it was the 3-point shot that was the difference in this game. Kicked Gunderman from the logo. Yes, sir. Knocks it down. Give me all 3 of these. And then Payne loses it in transition. Centennial scores 46 in the second half to come from behind and win.
What got you going? What got you shooting so well?
You know, I had a little bit of a rough first half, but in the locker room, all everybody kept saying was keep shooting, keep shooting. Finally, I got a layup to go down, shot go down, and it was on from there.
Yep. First win of the season. How does it feel to get this dub over in a rival game this season?
It's huge. You know, Blaine's my rival in every sport. We had a bit of a rough first game against Rogers, but to bounce back right now and start a new streak, it's awesome.
Yep. Going into this matchup, what did your team want to emphasize in this one?
Limit the turnovers. That was big for us in the first game. And it's everybody believing we can win it. We can do this thing.
So Centennial earns the come-from-behind win. As you see, 4 players in double figures led by Gunderman and his 21. Alvin Payne had 21, Lyon with 19, but it would not be enough. And Blaine, as you saw from their schedule earlier, really struggling, or as we'll see on the schedule coming up, I should say, struggling defensively. And that was certainly the case in this game as Centennial dropped nearly 50 in the second half. They were deadly from deep, and they end up coming from behind and defeating the Bengals by 4 at home. But wasn't the only time that we saw the Blaine Bengals in action this week, was it?
Oh yes, last Monday, we get to take a look at that matchup. Blaine at Anoka. They kick things off in this gym. Let's see Pettis to Lyon. Up and in off the glass for that left-handed lay-in. Pettis gets his Christmas wish, putting it high off the glass as well. Jumped up from the corner, draining it. Looks like a lot of Bengals highlights, but here's Anoka. Borchers putting it down from 3 as they get heated up. Back and forth it was. Blaine still hanging in. Lyon able to cut that Anoka lead 19-15. But now draining the 3, Anoka's Dre Ellis extends the lead 24-15. The drive by Podani putting it down 11 points at this point. He has double-figure lead now 26-25. The step back pop for 3, 28-18 now. Pettis draining that one. Anoka's steal, sure, putting it down. Pretty fancy though, laying it in. And this last one for you, J.R. Hurst. A massive slam dunk and exclamation point on this game. We got to take a look again. Bam, 71-93. Taking a look at that game summary. Borchers, 22, Podani, 21. And seeing a couple more guys still in double figures. Freaking and Hurst with 10. And I mean, a few not so far behind or out of that double-digit point, just barely for Anoka. So it makes sense, Bill, but definitely the Blaine Bengals going to try to take a look at defense here coming into that new year, try to get things straightened out. But Pettis still scoring 23 points. Gotta like that. Gotta like the production they're getting from him still, and Payne also bringing it.
Yeah, a couple seniors there leading the way for Blaine as we take a look at the conference standings, and teams are struggling in hoops, to be honest, right now. As you can see, Blaine down at the bottom next to Spring Lake Park. Centennial not far behind. Top of the conference, obviously Park Center, #1 in the state. Rogers off to a really good start. Andover, perennially good team, and of course Totino Grace, always a factor as well. So it's a very top-heavy conference in boys basketball, and our team's hoping to pick it up in the second half, spurred on by maybe some a little bit better defense as we take a look at the boys basketball schedules. And there are some ugly numbers for Blaine as they hope to shore up the defense in the new year.
I mean, Bill, that's exactly what they want. That Christmas wish, I think that's what they're asking for, more wins. But going to take on Cooper. They're at home and Duluth East on the road for the new year. And Centennial going to be on the road at North St. Paul before having those final couple home games, Forest Lake and West Fargo, North Dakota. So they're having them come to them.
Yes.
So that's nice.
They're hosting
Yes.
this year for Christmas, so it's nice of them.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully they have a good spread.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Very
Guys.
hospitable there in Circle Pines. But
Bill,
our Christmas wish for you.
Yes. I want to ask
please.
you first. Christmas movies.
Uh-huh.
Or holiday movies.
Yes.
Do you get in the mood watching any of those, and which one would you recommend for audience if they aren't?
Oh,
they're gonna
boy.
pick one this year.
I'm a big sucker for It's a Wonderful Life. I think that's a great movie, a classic, black and white. You know, Jimmy Stewart. You can't go wrong with It's a Wonderful Life. How about you? What Home Alone? Maybe you seem like maybe a Home Alone
Maybe
fan.
I could see it. I do like The Grinch. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas is always
Classic.
fun. But I don't know. I feel like it's hilarious sometimes when I think about some of those old classics like Frosty the Snowman or even like Jack Frost. Heat Miser. I don't even know that song. I always gets stuck in my head, but it's definitely that time where obviously we hope all of you are coming together as a family and sticking around to just kind of enjoy that company together, Bill.
Yeah, for sure. And lots of high school hoops to watch, lots of high school hockey, especially post-Christmas. So get out there and support your teams. But I think on behalf of Blythe and I, definitely wish you a very happy and healthy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you next year on Sportsnet.